Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America. And hello to everyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And I can't seem to figure out how to get my camera to go straight, so let me try one more time here. I think that's it. Thanks for joining me. If you're here, please say hello in the comments so I know who is here. Today, good morning, Renata, or good evening to you, and good evening to Gladys. I know you guys are in the US. Today, I am going to be doing a first play with the Apple Harvest Cling Stamp Set and the Apple Blossom dies. These Apple Blossom dies are one of the, I believe it's 6, yes, perfect partners that are being released to customers on September 1st, and just for the month of September. They are coordinating dies that go with 6 stamp sets. Apple Harvest is in the July to December mini catalog. It's also Fresh Cut Flowers, Playful Piggies, oh, This Birthday Piggy, Trimming the Tree, Waterfall Canyon, and the Yeti to Party Yeti to Party. And I got a couple of these. I hadn't even ordered the stamp sets before they released the dies. So they've done their job. They got me to buy some more stuff. I got both the Apple Harvest bundle and the Fresh Cut Stems bundle, and then I also purchased the dies to coordinate with the pigs, which I told you last week I was going to do. Good morning, Mom. Thanks for joining me. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that this is coming up in September. And I also wanted to remind you that we are still in celebration this August, in addition to whichever items are still available out of this brochure. So far what I've heard here in Australia is just the note cards and envelopes have sold out here. Everything else is still available. I'm not sure that's true in all markets, but they have also added some fun things from the regular catalog as well. If you decide to take advantage of this, be sure you are using the item numbers from the brochure so you get it for free and you're not having to actually purchase it. One of the things that I did when I bought my Perfect Partners bundles was I did get another celebration reward, and I chose to get the Dots and Spots die. And I am actually going to be using that in today's card. So let's get crafting. I have gone ahead and cut out a stencil with that Dots and Spots die. And it is, I just did it on a piece of very vanilla thick cardstock, and I have a piece of basic white cardstock that I'm going to use that with in a minute. Because I'm going to do quite a bit of stuff to this, I am going to actually put some, this is our old snail. You could also do this with seal. I just have seal plus, and I still have some of this, so I'm going to put a little bit of this on. And I don't want it to stick down forever and ever. So I'm actually going to take it, you won't be able to see me, but I'm patting it against my clothing, my jeans and my shirt, to pick up some lint. I want it to stick, but I don't want it to stick forever. So now you can see it's nice and linty, and I can get it on there pretty straight, and it'll stay in place while I'm working with it, but I should be able to lift it up just fine when I'm finished. So I'm bringing in some So Saffron ink, and I'm casing this design concept and a lot of the elements from one of the current artisan design team members. Her name is Annie Alexander, and she happens to be one of my Kylie's Crazy Crafters teammates. So it's fun when we have a teammate in the artisan design team. And I'm bringing in So Saffron ink and a blending brush, and I'm just going to cover this whole sheet with the ink. It's going to be a lighter, a paler yellow than if I took a piece of So Saffron cardstock. And also I can make it a little bit variegated. It doesn't need to be solid yellow. And this is a blending brush I reserved for yellow tones. Not always just So Saffron. So I did start by swirling it over here. You might have seen me do that on my paper just to make sure that I didn't have a lot of really intense, more intense yellow on there. Which I didn't, which is good. So hello, Paula. I see you've joined us. Thank you. And when I start my swirling, I'm starting it on the grid paper and then coming right on. I'm not like swirling off lots of ink and then coming on, but I am just making it so that there's not so much bright, sharp blobs of ink from putting the brush down. So I'm just going to keep going over this till I have it kind of how I want it. And it's one of those, you know it when you see it situations. What else do we know today? I think that's about it. I'm going to try that. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my stencil. And I've got some, this is removable Scotch tape, and you know it because it's got the blue core. This is available in Australia as well as in the US. And I'm just going to use that to hold my stencil in place. I don't feel like I need to do a whole lot of tacking down. There we go. And I'm going to get a fair amount of ink on there, I think. And this is tone on tone. But I'm not worried about going all the way to the edges. I'm just sort of making it a little bit, not random, but not a solid. I'm going to take a peek and see if I like it. I love this removable Scotch tape. There. I still have it tacked down in place up there. This is down. So if I decided I wanted more, I could fold it right back down and do more, but I think I'm happy with that. So I just pull that off. I often reuse it. That can get reused if I want. Close up my ink pad before something disastrous happens. Oh, the feed is not good? Let me know, everybody, if the feed is good or not, because I can start again. Don't really like to, but I can. So let's try pulling this up. As you see, there we go. That came up just fine. It held nicely, came up fine. There we go. So that's cleaner on this side. We'll just do that. Let me show you the next part. So for this design, I'm going to use this image of 3 pieces of fruit and leaves and a branch. And I have gone ahead and I have stamped it in Versamark and heat embossed it in white. And I'm thinking this is, let's see how hard this is for you to see. I use this technique in one of my Hues of Happiness product playground classes. And so this is Happiness Abound stamp set, and we stamped on the vellum, heat embossed in gold, and then to do the stained glass, you actually turn it over and you color on the back. And we did it with Stampin' Blends and got some neat alcohol ink effects on the vellum. And that's what we're going to do here. And so I'm just trying to see, you guys are going to be able to see it okay. Everybody says it's working fine. Okay, so I'm going to just keep going here. So I'm going to bring in very fast the Crumb Cake Stampin' Blend just to get my my stems. I'm going to use the bullet point. It's going to be better. There we go. And so again, I'm coloring on the back. Let's see how that shows up. And I'm coloring in the branches of this apple, bough of apples, right? Now, I like that they made these apples really, really round, so they could be, I think they could be oranges quite easily. There's some of the images that are, you know, clearly that's an apple. That's an apple. These could be oranges. That works for me. So I have my branches done, I believe. And now let's work on the leaves. And I did, before I came on the air, I went ahead and I made a swatch of colors I was thinking of using, because I wanted to figure out what I really wanted to do. And I did it with the greens, and I did it with 3 different reds, and I even did it with a couple of yellows too. But as I look at this, I think I'm gonna, because I thought I might use that for a little highlight color. And we'll see as we go, but I think maybe I'll let the white that's on the embossing do that by itself. So, I think I'm going to go with the Mossy Meadow. I think a little more intense. And the way that we did this card, which I thought was really a pretty cool technique, is you start by getting your lid off. You start by adding some of your darker color where you want it. And then you use the lighter one and you use it to blend a bit. So let's turn that over and look. And it's kind of subtle on here. Let me see if you guys can see it. There we go. Tells me I might need to do a little bit more of the dark if I want that to really show up. But it's nice that it's subtle in a lot of ways. So we'll keep going with these. getting a little bit of ink manipulation is the idea by using both colors. And it is a subtle difference. I might try one over here where I do the Mossy Meadow. Let's try some light Old Olive. That would be a very big, maybe too big. Just look and see how that one is. Oh, it's going in and out. Yeah, I know Glenn just got online. I kind of like that. That's a neat combination. Okay, let's try a little bit more of that. So I did dark Mossy Meadow and dark Old Olive. So by starting at opposite ends with, so I got dark and light, and now I'm gonna use the light to get them to meet up a bit. That might kind of get it kind of blendy going. Yeah. Can you guys see that? That's pretty cool looking. Okay. We're going to keep going that way. Okay. We are having all kinds of fun political stuff over here. I know not everybody's the political geek that I am, but turns out our lovely former Prime Minister, and this is a big difference to how the US system works, he had himself sworn in with the ministerial powers, not just of Prime Minister, but 5 other cabinet level offices at the same time, and kept it a secret. So yeah, it's kind of an uproar here right now that he did this. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Let me see what I got here in terms of the leaves. Not sure how much you guys can see it, but it's really, really pretty. I think you can, yeah. Okay, so let's get to work on our reds. And I'm just trying to figure out. Okay. I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet. So I might try a three-prong approach. I'm going to start with this light poppy parade, and I'm going to put that kind of right in the middles. And I'm going to put a ring of this darker Sweet Sorbet. One of the nice things about doing this with the embossing is that you can go right up onto the embossing on the back side and it won't show through on the front, but it gives you a nice kind of border to deal with. And now I'm going to come in with the light Sweet Sorbet and kind of try some blending between them. I don't know. We'll just keep going. Oh, I've got one I haven't done at all. We're getting there. We're getting there. That one. Let's see what we've got on this side. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of that, I think. Not so thrilled with that. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, let's do another coat of this all over. Because the alcohol kind of dissolves on itself and kind of manipulates itself, which is nice. So I think I can kind of erase a lot of the texture stuff I'm not really liking in there. Maybe. Or not really. I'm going to call it good. It's always a learning experience, right? Let me see if I've got everything colored in. I think so. All of my leaves. Okay, I've got the die. And I'm going to die cut this out and I'll be right back. It's just right over here. Not only did I get all these new stamps and dies, I got new cutting plates too. So that's always fun. That's why it was so crackly. There we go. That's all nicely cut out. I can get rid of that. So let's bring this piece back in. It's going to be on there. Oh, look, now you can see it. And then I cut another piece. There we go. This is also cut with one of these dies. I use this edge die, and I didn't realize until I cut it and saw it. Not only can you make a strip that has this lovely scalloped edge, but it doesn't outline. It makes just, let me find it here. I didn't keep it. This is definitely one that you'd want to have adhesive sheet on the back of, because you could have that and use that on a card. But I'm not going to use that today. I think what I'm going to do is something like that. Bring in my card base. So I cut this strip and I cut out the scalloped edge, and then I ran it through the Timber 3D embossing folder to get a little texture on there, as well as that. And I think we need a sentiment. So before I stick anything down, I'm going to figure out what and where. I'm not sure. Let me grab another set really fast. Or two. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being indecisive. I think I'm going to do this. I miss you. Because that's how I'm feeling about a lot of people right now. Bring in one of my many, 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 many strips. Let's find one that's straight, maybe. You lost me too. Well, I'm sorry. At this point, I think I'm just going to let it go and hope that I've got a good recording that I can post in replay. You know what? I'm going to do it one more time. Old olive, because I might decide that I don't want it black. I think I might like that better, a little softer. And yes, snipping even just this little strip, I can get it terribly crooked. So I'm bringing in my little guillotine chopper. Yep, I like it better in the green. Okay, now to get this glued up. So, because I want it lined up squarely with the edges. There we go. Put this on. So I cut this layer that I used the blending brushes on and the stencil. I cut it down I cut it down to the second layer. So the first layer on my cards would be 10 by 14.4. This one is 9.5 by 13.9. And now figure out how I want to do this. I think this is going to be a few drops of glue in spots that hopefully won't be too obvious. I'm trying to put it back behind where I know I've got a lot of embossing powder. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, but I can see it's showing through. But it is what it is. Sometimes just help. I'll do that. Where are they? Come on. Oh, come on. Right there in the very front. I'm going to use some of these rustic metallic dots, I think. So my putty's gotten a little dry at the very end there. I'm gonna get a little fresh. There we go. And I think I'm gonna call it good. So, this is my take on Annie Alexander's card. I am unashamedly casing her. Casing is copy and share everything according to Stampin' Up. Copy and selectively edit according to Kylie, my team leader. So I did do a selective edit. I changed out the stamp set and the sentiment and what I did with my my white strip there. I would love to see what you guys are making, and so I have my Nancy's Nifty Note Makers page where I am trying to get people to share things. When you make something, it doesn't have to be anything related to this video. I would love to see what you're making. Feel free to upload it here. The QR code will take you straight to this URL. If you are not a member of Nancy's Nifty Note Makers, there are a couple questions to answer, and then you will be automatically let in. If you have any other questions or comments, requests for things for me to do on this video each Wednesday, reach out to me. I'm Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. All of the information about what I do and when I do it is available at my website, nancysniftynotes.com. And thank you for joining me. I will see you same time, same place next week. See you then. Bye-bye.